Most people are completely missing what's happening right now. Oil just exploded. Recession risk is surging. And this could trigger the next massive move in crypto, especially XRP. But here's the crazy part. This isn't bearish. This might actually be the setup for one of the biggest wealth transfers we've seen in years. Before we break this down, if you want daily XRP updates with a Canadian perspective, hit subscribe right now, because what's happening globally is about to hit Canada hard. Let's start with the facts. According to a recent macro analysis, oil surged nearly 60% in weeks. Recession probability is approaching 50%, and global markets are starting to feel pressure. Now, why does this matter? Because oil is the foundation of the global economy. When oil spikes, inflation rises, consumer spending drops, central banks get trapped, and suddenly, recession becomes real. We've seen this before. Every major financial crisis, there was a macro trigger just like this. Now, here's where it hits you, especially if you're in Canada. Canada is extremely sensitive to oil and global trade. So what happens? Gas prices go up fast, cost of living increases again, mortgage pressure stays high, and the Bank of Canada gets stuck because they can't cut rates easily. Even if the economy slows, that's the worst case scenario. Slow economy means high inflation, stagflation, and historically, that's when traditional finance struggles the most. Now, here's what most people get wrong. They think recession means crypto crash, but that's outdated thinking. Because today, crypto, especially assets like XRP, are tied to liquidity and global financial stress. Let me explain. When the system breaks, governments print money, central banks inject liquidity, and debt explodes. And where does that money go? Into assets outside the traditional system. That includes Bitcoin, crypto, and utility-based assets like XRP, because XRP is positioned for cross-border payments and financial infrastructure. And when the system is stressed, that use case becomes more valuable, not less. Here's the deeper layer most people are missing. This isn't just about oil. This is about a shift in global power and financial systems. We're seeing geopolitical tensions rising, supply chains being disrupted, countries moving away from traditional systems. And what replaces that? Faster settlement, digital assets, and blockchain-based payments. This is exactly where XRP fits. So while the average investor panics, smart money is watching. Where does the system go next? Now let's be honest. Short term, yes, volatility is coming. Markets might dip, crypto might shake out weak hands. But long term, this is the kind of environment that sets up massive rallies, institutional entry, and narrative shifts. Because fear creates opportunity. And the biggest gains, they don't happen when everything feels safe. They happen when uncertainty is high. If you're serious about XRP and crypto, here's what you should be watching out next. Oil prices, do they keep rising? Central bank reactions, liquidity entering markets, institutional crypto moves. Because when those align, that's when things move fast. So here's the bottom line. What looks like a crisis could actually be the setup for the next crypto expansion phase. And most people, they won't see it coming. If you want to stay ahead of this, especially with XRP and how it connects to global finance, subscribe to the channel right now and comment below. Bullish if you think this macro shift sends crypto higher, or bearish if you think a recession will crash everything. Let's see where everyone stands.